You're watching Day Trader Options Daily Review for June 16th, 2015. I'm Scott. He's Alan. We're going to go through at least 3 trades that occurred in which you could have made 10% or more in 10 minutes or less. This is foundational expression. This is not training. We just want to show you that it's possible in a day, pretty much every day, and this day, in fact, was a bad day, to make that 10%. And we're hoping that after we've done 20, 30, 40, 50, we're at over 48 now videos, that maybe it'll take 100, that you'll be convinced that this is possible. And if it's possible, then maybe you'll start to think that maybe if it's possible for you to do it. And all it requires is a few hours of training. We've got the courses in the links below. And we'll, when you take the courses, you get a month free of the software that you're seeing. And after you've taken the courses, after you've practiced, after you've watched these videos, after we've answered any questions you may have, you could be in a position where you could actually risk real money and do a real trade and make some real profit. And that's our hope for you. And that's why we do this. So with no further ado, Alan, it's the 16th of June. Were we able to make 10%? Probably weren't able to make 10% in 10 minutes today.
Not with our rules. And I wanted to show, these days are very, I call them quite rare, but they do happen. There's probably somebody out there with a different set of rules where they probably are not as successful, because I've just never seen anybody as successful as these rules. And I've had lots of people test them. So maybe with some strange thing they made some money, but this was a pretty tough day to make money. And I just wanted to show you people why I say that and why we have rules, is because you see here, this is the first minute of the day for this candle right here. That's happened in 1 minute. This does happen kind of regularly, where you get this just monstrous candle and then it sort of drifts off and doesn't do much. And so, if you get in here, the price of the option is actually really high because of the volatility. And so you're not likely to make money on this. This is the point, is you're not likely to make money off of a big right after a big candle. And this is true whether you're using daily candles or all kinds of stuff. It's tougher. You want to see how it plays out. And I have another example. It's like, yeah, on this day is great. We had 2 that were unbelievable and large. I'm just going to go to the end of the day. And my point about using the end of the day, there we go. I'm going to turn off the volume just and a few other things so you can actually see the candles a little bit better. Here we go. We're getting rid of just about everything. So here's the point about this candle. Now, this happened in a few minutes, but here is where it started that moment. It ran all the way down here, and then it settled here. Now, if you got in anywhere lower than here, you're probably not going to make money unless you got out right away, because what happened, you can see, is it just curled up and then went sideways. And the price of the option would have been quite high because the volatility was high. And it's like, oh, look at that. It's really moving, so I should sell it for more. And so the buyer of the option would have to pay too much money. So when you get these, and I call them monster candles, you can just use them, call it big candles, but I like that word just because you generally want to stay away from monsters. And so here, on this day, we saw 2 that were great. Now, in contrast to our rules, you see, which is stay out of here, if it didn't do that, if this stock, like in the morning period, just continued and ran up higher, there would have been a decent opportunity here. But that's why we have the rules, is because if you get in after a big candle, you don't really know what's happening here. There's people pushing back that are buying it, saying it's too cheap. You get other people that are excited about it and think it's hoping it's going to go down. But this is extraordinary, crazy. Somebody also that's a trader calls this one of their psychotic stocks that they won't trade. They just won't trade this one at all. This is FedEx. Nothing wrong with the airline. You'll get your package by 10 o'clock next morning, but you don't want to be trading this thing when it's like that. So that's 2 examples of things that we wouldn't have traded, and that's a good idea. I'm going to now look at a little bit later in the day, because the morning I didn't find anything that I liked. But this one later in the day, yeah, we're looking at the whole day here so you can see it pretty easily. This was a good trade. And I've got most of the indicators turned off. Where it became a good trade is a principle called clear to the left. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday, but what we're going to do is just talk about it a little bit more. This stuff is in here because it works. So not only is it lower than yesterday's low, this is a low for the last 7 days. So in this zone here, there's some people that work with us that they would trade that, even though the signal may be a bit old, they'd get into that. So I am doing a bit of a teaching point here because I really want people to get it. So you've seen two, big bad candles that are the monsters that you want to stay away from. And now you saw another opportunity, which is just based on a simple principle. And you can, you still want to be looking at the indicators in the basket and all that kind of stuff just to make sure that it's a good trade. So in this case, the basket is kind of flattish, not much is happening. It says actually very low volume day. So there's really not much that's going to stop this stock from falling if people are hating it and selling it. And if we go look at the 60-minute chart, you can see this is multiple days. So this would be yesterday. It's been doing a kind of falling down the rapids behavior. So the easy trade, and there's a few people that talk about this kind of stuff. We're not the only ones, but is when it breaks outside, that's a good trade. So the things that we add are, how do you know that that was a good one on that day and didn't just bounce? Because like here, you see it bounced and then went the other way, you would have lost money. So although lots of people know about this principle and talk about it, that, it's breaking out of a previous day's range, it's like, yeah, but how did I not get clipped? That's where you use the indicators. So, and the indicators help us quite regularly in our, bread and butter type of trades where you're making money just about every day, just following some simple rules. So that's it for June 16th. And thank you.
Wonderful. Appreciate that, Alan. And there you go. Bottom right-hand corner, we have a subscribe button. Hit it. You won't miss any of our episodes. Really important that you be exposed to this on an ongoing basis. And we do this to support you so that you get a belief that you can make trades where there are opportunities in the market pretty much every day. And then maybe you can be doing this. And we've got courses, 3 courses right now. They're in the description below. If you want to learn more, we've given you a really nice discount on that so you can get going. And we'll really appreciate you being with us. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.